What's wrong with Atlanta? Atlanta is gay. Atlanta has a serious gender ratio gap issue. There are 20 to 25% more black women than there are black men in Atlanta. So let's just catch that. Right? So for every 100 black women, there are 80 black men in Atlanta. Let's just say that. Of those 80 men, 30 of them are gay. So now you have 100 black women and 50 black men. That's why they want to go poly, girl, because there's 2 to 3 black women for every black man. The math is not mathing. It is for them, not for y'all.
The biggest mistake that women make is they lie to themselves and they tell themselves that they are fine being unclaimed. And we're going to be talking about being unclaimed. As you all know, I have covered being uncovered. That is an entire series on my channel. But we're going to be talking about being unclaimed. And this video is actually inspired by recent events as well as by a video online. And I figure it's time for me to talk about this. Now, I'll be honest, I always felt like for a while that I probably was not the best person to talk about being unclaimed. And I'll explain what I mean in a minute here. But the reason why I assumed that I'm probably not the best person is because this issue is not something that I have personally struggled with. I've had many issues in my life, but this has not been one of them. For the most part, I have been in, a few long-term relationships that spanned anywhere from 3 to 4 years. And I haven't really struggled. I can think of 1 or 2 times in my life where I was unclaimed. But for the most part, I have done my best to avoid being in this category because how uncomfortable it was when it happened to me. And so essentially what I'm talking about here is women, and in this case, I'm just going to say over 40, because I've been noticing more and more women over 40. If you ask them, is he your boyfriend? Is he your man? Are you guys together? The common response will be, we're just talking. We're just getting to know each other. We are, not exclusive. They'll name a number of different categories other than the main 3 categories, which is either this person is your boyfriend, your fiance, or your husband. And ideally, you should be starting with boyfriend and moving your way up to husband, right? I do understand that there's going to be a period of getting to know each other, and that's understandable. But essentially, one of the things I've been noticing more and more is women, modern women, in this case, I'm talking about modern Black women, struggling to fit neatly in the categories of either you are with him or you're not. Either he is your man, your boyfriend, your fiance, your husband, or he's not. And I'm finding a lot of women in this kind of in-between phase for a long period of time. So if you have been talking to or not exclusive with or just getting to know this man for 2 years, then that is going to be an indicator potentially that this person does not want to move you up the ranks that I talked about. And so it's actually a big problem. And it seems as though women in this situation often don't realize that it's a problem. And that is even a bigger problem. And this happens with very smart women, very successful women often, where they are struggling to understand that they need to actually fit neatly in a category. And the goal from the very beginning should be just that. And if you are getting mixed signals from a man or from anyone, that is going to be a no. I'm going to say that again. Mixed signals, in my opinion, actually means no. It doesn't mean maybe in the future, possibly, we'll see what happens. Maybe he'll change his mind. Oh, just take it as a no. And I would have you know that this message has to do with women who want to be in a committed relationship. I'm not talking to or about women who don't want. Women who want to be in a relationship, that is their goal, who willingly sign up to be unclaimed. And this is a massive problem. Unclaimed. This might even be an entire series. We'll see. The frustrating thing is that this is going to be the very first step. The first step, in my opinion, to entering into a relationship is allowing the man to profess, which is one of the P's that we talk about. There's protect, provide, profess. Men typically are really excited to profess. And so if a man is not professing that you guys are together, that you are his woman, if you are just low-key friends with benefits, again, just talking, then no, he's probably not going to profess you to the community, to his family, to his friends, and therefore you are unclaimed by him. Now, maybe you're claimed by somebody else. That's your business. Maybe you're talking to other people. But I also think that even if you are talking to other people, that's going to get real messy and a whole nother issue. This idea of being just friends with a grown single man, that makes me uncomfortable. Anytime I've ever been out and about and a guy's tried to talk to me and this is obviously before I was married, but he would say, oh, we can just be friends. Why? No, that's not what I want. Again, I want these three categories. Now, I understand that sometimes people are friends beforehand and, that type of thing. But if you are courting someone, getting to know someone, that period, especially when you're over 40, should be limited. I mean, it shouldn't span 2-3 years, in my opinion. And so, one of the things I have never wanted to do was be in a situationship and or an entanglement. And oftentimes when people are not neatly fitting into one of the three categories that I named before, they are often in situationships and or entanglements. And so, this idea of, oh, let's just be friends, don't buy it. So again, this is, having a man claim you as his and you being able to say he is mine. This is going to be the first step to getting into a relationship. And so this video is not about, how successful the relationship is. That's a whole nother video. I've had my share of challenges with unsuccessful relationships. But one of the things I figured out early was that I did not like the uncomfortable feeling of being unclaimed. The mixed signals, stringing me along. Again, all that is going to mean no. So just take it as a no. And I think often women are hanging on to hope, hanging on to, again, let's just see where this goes. Let's see how the wind blows. And all of that, I think, is causing an issue with modern women being claimed and getting into the relationships they say they want to be in. This is the first step is moving in a way where you take the option of being unclaimed off the table. That shouldn't even be on the table, and I think that perhaps one of the reasons why I haven't necessarily struggled with being claimed. In fact, I've had the opposite issue where usually that period of, quote, getting to know someone is a little shorter because we usually move pretty quickly into the girlfriend and boyfriend phase. And this is historically before, before I was married, but move into the girlfriend boyfriend phase. And then with my last relationship, which ended up turning into a marriage. But yeah, my hope is that as women, as Black women, we will stop getting comfortable in these obscure situations and learn to embrace the fact that we deserve to be claimed. We need to stop normalizing being unclaimed and being uncovered. That's my PSA for today. So like, share, and subscribe. Click the links in the description box, including my Black-owned store, which is an affiliate link with Amazon. And I have listed several Black-owned products that I've used for many, many years. So please do check it out. Now is a good time to buy my book, My Own Gaze, Memoir of an Invisible Black Woman. Join the Black and Invisible YouTube membership and purchase my book about being an invisible Black woman on Amazon. This is Naka, and I'm here to make the invisible visible about modern Black women. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.